Hi, this is Dr. Celine Nielsen from Globally Connected. I don't usually include my title when I introduce myself, but as you remember the events of last summer about Dr. Jill Biden, I have decided to include it. Which brings me to the importance of today, the International Women's Day. Some of you celebrate it, and some of you may have never heard about it, so let me tell you a little bit about it. The International Women's Day is celebrated all around the world and recognized by the United Nations as a day to commemorate the solidarity and contributions of women into their communities. But where and how did it start? There were many theories about it, but it started at a time where oppression and inequalities against women were decided not to be tolerated. Around 1910, about 15,000 women marched in New York for a campaign to change. At the same time, in Europe, similar movements took place, and the Second International Conference of Women was held in Copenhagen. A woman named Clara Zetkin, a German woman, proposed an International Women's Day. The following year, in 1911, there were celebrations and marches in Austria, Denmark, Germany, and Switzerland. At this time, men were not so happy that half of the population was demanding equality. Well, some of them were, but certainly there were others that found the equality idea absurd. Then a horrible disaster in New York City, a fire, claimed 140 women's lives, most of them Italian and Jewish immigrants. This event strengthened the campaign for better conditions for women working in factories. So, note that I didn't say working women. Don't say that. It's as absurd as saying woman doctor or a woman engineer. The name of the title is enough. Another interesting fact is that International Women's Day is a national holiday in many countries like Afghanistan, Zambia, Vietnam, China, and Russia, among many others. Not here, but I could use a day off. I would also like to honor some famous international refugee women like Anne Frank, a Jewish refugee girl died in a concentration camp that wanted to change the world by writing. And she did. Nadia Murad, a Yazidi woman who went through torture and left and became a refugee in Germany and a spokesperson against human trafficking. She was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2018. Malala Yousafzai, an Afghan girl shot in the face because she went to school, now is an activist for education of women, also received the Nobel Peace Prize in 2014. Ravda Nur Cuma, a Syrian refugee girl who walked to Turkey after witnessing killings of her friends at school, and an activist for refugee women's rights and education, and many others. So now you know. As long as inequalities and oppression continues in the world against women, violence for women, demeaning women, there's a need to loudly celebrate and demand respect and equality. After all, as the great leader of modern Turkey, Atatürk, said, is it possible for humankind to grow by the improvement of one part while the other part is ignored? Is it possible that if half of a mass is tied to earth with chains and the other half can soar into skies? This is also valid for any identity, gender or otherwise. So let this day be a celebration against oppression, to the days where the oppressed are valued, respected, and accepted as equals in all parts of life, so humanity can soar. Thank you.